Hello, my name is Kate Pierce, and welcome to another episode of One Take Tutorials brought to you by St. Rose Television. Today I will discuss how to abide by pedestrian etiquette. Pedestrian etiquette sums up the general courtesies expected from anyone walking anywhere. Abiding by these courtesies helps to prevent collisions that may potentially cause injury or damage to you, other pedestrians, or objects you each may be carrying. This is all just a nice way to tell you how to walk without being incredibly annoying or obnoxious, or both. As someone with a mild case of walk rage, I've compiled this simple set of rules to combat the horror of pedestrian traffic jams and collisions. Rule number 1, stick to the right. It's just like when driving, you stay in the right lane. Staying to the right when you're walking down a hallway or sidewalk allows people to walk in both directions without running into one another. It really is that simple. When you decide to walk on the left, other pedestrians have to walk on the left to avoid running into you, and everyone is uncomfortable. Rule number 2, walk with a purpose. I'm talking to you, pedestrians that walk like you're filming a slow motion movie in real time. While you may have all day to get from one room to another, other poor souls only have 5 or 10 minutes to trek from one side of campus to another, and you are definitely not helping them by taking a leisurely stroll like a grandmother in the park. Unless you're going to school to learn how to walk like a zombie for the next season of The Walking Dead, there is no excuse for being slower than a sleepwalking snail. Now, I'm not by any means saying that you have to sprint everywhere you go. I'm simply asking that you refrain from taking agonizingly slow steps. Rule number 3, don't feel the width of the hallway. Let me set a scene as an example. You and 3 other acquaintances are walking together to the same location. In most cases, there's really only room enough for 2 people side by side while being courteous to the flow of traffic. What I mean by this is that you and your 3 acquaintances can't walk all together in a straight line. Walking down the hallway to class is not the proper place to reenact the stampede scene from The Lion King, no matter how much you may not like the freshmen. My message to the unlucky third wheels out there, suck it up. Either walk ahead or tag along behind. Rule number 4, do not stop randomly. This rule is incredibly important. When a walkway is crowded, stopping suddenly will instantly cause a traffic jam in pedestrian traffic, and those immediately behind the stopped individual will need to stop as well. And sometimes you will be the force that stops their motion. If stopping is necessary, you should first move out of the way, then reevaluate where it is you need to go. This rule is especially important in the case of holding a conversation while walking. Some pedestrians feel the need to stop in the middle of a walkway to continue a conversation with a fellow pedestrian. When this situation presents itself, the path for other pedestrians is obstructed, and they may attempt to push through the obstruction, which could lead to disastrous collisions, possibly resulting in multiple injuries and/or costly damages. The trick to avoiding this scenario is to simply hold your conversations away from the flow of pedestrian traffic. And finally, rule number 5, look where you're going. This rule is incredibly self-explanatory. Need I remind you, it is a crime to text while driving. Why? Because you can't see where you're going. So why on earth would you text while walking down a crowded hallway? If you text while walking, you will walk into something or someone, and people will laugh. At you, not with you. In conclusion, be considerate and courteous in your travels. The next time you find yourself walking down a hallway or sidewalk, I hope you think back to this helpful tutorial to remind you how to be a pedestrian with etiquette.